Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Hurt. That is Kuya P, and he has been bugging me. This is the NRW, but he has been bugging me for over an hour and a half to talk about this damn movie. So here we are, Diablo. So let's get into the trailer, and then we will talk about the film.
Let's go. And go check out our interviews, y'all. We talked to everybody on this.
We talked to a lot of people on this.
Where's the money?
I don't think so.
Hey.
Hola, papi.
Speak. The girl got grabbed this morning. It's an opportunity.
Now listen to me. I'm not here to hurt you. Don't do anything stupid.
Don't kick me.
Who are you to tell me what to do?
Okay. Stop running! I want you to see something. I was friends with your mother, and I'm telling you the truth.
Prove it! My mother has been dead for 5 years.
I know. I think Vicente killed her. He took everything from me. Tell him the safety's on. Alicia! Run! We both want to get Lisa back. I'll fight to the death for her.
Who is that psycho?
I hired him for a job, but he crossed the line.
That's personal to him.
All right, Diablo, Kuya P, we can finally fucking talk about it. So this film, the plot, honestly, the plot is very fascinating because it kind of sells itself as this 90s style revenge story, but there's so much more to it than that. This is not only a revenge story, but it's kind of like a double crossing action style revenge story that includes the the misunderstanding what the word villain is, who's the bad guy, who isn't the bad guy, what does a bad guy look like. This is a very interesting story about family, about loss, about, I feel like we just talked about all these elements in Baron's Cove, which is really funny, but it's a completely different film. But it's about family, who you can trust, who you can't trust, and what levels you will go to get those you love or who you care about back, or what you will do when they're gone. So that's really the plot. The film is available right now in limited release for theaters and available on demand. It is directed by Ernesto Dìaz Espinoza, who also was one of the writers. I did get to talk to him. Matt Sampson, Scott Adkins, and Marko Zaror were all producers / writers on this film. This was kind of a love story to the 90s to them. It was they wanted to do this in Colombia where they could create this action story where there is ongoing troubles at all points, and it made it very very easy for them to create this story in a well-known area. The cast, of course, is Scott Adkins, who plays Kris Chaney, Marko Zaror, who plays El Corvo, Alanna de la Rossa, who plays Elisa, Diana Hoyas, who is Alex, Lucho Velasco, who is Vicente, and there's just a whole bunch of other wonderful, amazing actors. But those are the main cast. But it does, of course, take an entire village, especially for a film that needs the safety and security of an action film like Diablo. So, initial thoughts, Kuyapi.
Well, we didn't do a react to this. This kind of came
We
into
did not.
our plate, so I didn't really have any thoughts going in. Well, I didn't know what we were getting into, but when we got the breakdowns and we started booking things, Scott Adkins is a freaking legend. So I was very excited that we were going to have the opportunity to interview him. I was really excited for myself, I gotta say personally. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. So Heather makes out of all the beautiful things that I can do a lot of times now of late. So I was happy for her as well. And that's why I was like, Heather, are you a fan of Scott Adams? Because I'm a mega fan. He's a legend. He's an acting action icon, as well as Marko Zaror, who's not there with Scott yet, but is building his name out. We've seen him in John Wick, like Scott. They've both been in John Wick. He has an amazing career. Just two big legends kind of facing off in this film. So I was initially just excited. The makeup of it all with these two, I was ready. It sounded great per concept. And so, yeah, I didn't really see any of it, I think much like you, Heather, until we actually watched the film in preparation for the interviews that we did.
Yeah, that's basically the only additional thing I would say is I think Scott Adkins is a phenomenal action star. Marko Zaror is phenomenal. I do think that he's got talents, specifically on the hand-to-hand combat side. He's such a big guy, and we've seen that in conversations about him when he does scenes. Is that he's just such a big guy. It makes that Goliath element so much more real. But with that being said, my one initial reaction was the moment I saw that. I saw who I was interviewing first before I actually saw anything about this film. The moment I saw that this was a Scott Adkins film, I was like, okay, I know exactly what this movie is about. I know exactly what's going on. I hate to say it. And so I hate and love to say it. Some of the benefits of having someone like Scott Adkins on a film is you know that it's going to be fun. You know it's going to be action packed. You know there's going to be some really stupid, corny lines at times. But that's also, we actually talk about this a little bit with How to Train Your Dragon. I know it's a completely different movie, but sometimes it's a little too safe. It's a little too comfortable, but that's kind of why you make a film with him. So I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying I kind of knew what this movie was because it had him in it. And no, I'm not a mega fan, but I did know very well going into this film, watching this film, going into that interview, that I was talking to one of, a man that has a filmography that could go all the way through your living room and out the back door. Like he's got a huge filmography. He's got a lot of work under his belt. And I was very lucky to speak to him. I was also the one that I also got to talk to a lot of people that QUP. I know that he was upset that he had to hand them off to me. I could feel it. And when I got to speak to Alicia Silverstone, I could feel it in that email.
I'm happy for you though. Like we both are fans. It's Batgirl. It's Clueless. It's everything. Hey.
But anyway,
I'm happy
with that being absolutely.
You include John Leguizamo this year.
I did. And
the list is long, homie.
He sang me happy birthday.
I'm super jelly. Super jelly.
But anyway, the government, not all members of the government have to go into work, into the office, because it actually costs the taxpayers more money when they do that. But anyway, sidebar aside, one of the things, I'm going to go right into my review for this, because that was my initial my initial response was, oh, it's going to be a Scott Adkins movie. Is that bad? Is that good? It can be right in the middle. And honestly, my review for this film is right there along with it. I will say that I do think the film was wonderfully cast. Scott Adkins, he knows he actually, one of the great things about being a well-transitioned, not a well-transitioned, a well-seasoned action star is you have an eye for who you can do combat with. And that's usually a lot of work there needs to be done. And I think everyone was picked wonderfully. Lucho Velasco is amazing in this film. But the standout star, I do believe, was Alanna de la Rosa, who plays Elisa. And honestly, if you watch my interviews, people could not talk about how incredible she was. She's a young star, still on her way up, and only a bazillion good things. She's professional. She's wonderful. So I will say, of all of the cast in this, she was phenomenal as Elisa. I will give her absolute credit and dues. I think that everything that people say about her is 100. And I'm saying this as a viewer, not as someone who knows her. I think that everything I heard about her was you see it on film. PP, what are your thoughts?
All right, I'm so excited to say my thoughts on this, as Heather knows. um, I enjoyed Diablo. This was a throwback 90s action movie, 80s, 90s action movie. They delivered that. And they're not great, well, I'll say that off the rip. We know those 80s, 90s ain't great. They don't all hold up, but the action, the story, it captured that. And I think that's what Marko and Ernesto grew up on. Through my interview with Marko, this started with the two of them. They were friends since high school, and they wanted to make a movie together. As Marko started to build out his career, he met Scott, was able to get Scott to climb on board with them. They wanted to do a project together, and now we have the results of that with Diablo. And I think they killed it. They delivered that type of a film. Again, not perfect, not the best of lines. It's cheesy, but we want those cheesy lines sometimes, along with the great action. And both of them delivered on that. A great character in Kris Chaney, who is I gotta be careful. I don't want to spoil, but I could completely relate to this character. And then when he meets Elisa and wanting to build a connection with Elisa for some reason, I don't want to spoil again. So I think Heather can understand why I connected with that character like that.
Yeah.
So I love that element of the film. And then El Corvo, Marko's character, this weird villain. Again, we think the master villain is this boss in Vicente, played by Lucho Velasco, but there's an even bigger villain in this wild, weird assassin in El Corvo that Marko gets to portray, who has the weirdest haircut, but also is so perfect. But, Marko looks like a god. He's built like a god. I told him myself, I'm like, you're the man I want to be. You're sexy. You're badass. Like, you're dope, dude. But they had to make you look ugly. And so they gave you this weird, haircut with balding on the top, but it works perfect for this villain that you got to portray. And yeah, so he killed that. And he has like this hand that's a fake hand that's straight up like, out of every Bond lore that we love, that you take off and there's a knife underneath. How can you not love that kind of shit, Heather? Like, that's classic 80s, 90s exploitation action movie that they're doing in the now, and I fucking love it. So yeah, Marko killed it. The two of them battling off, and as you said in the other interview I had, you got to talk to Scott and Ernesto. I talked to Marko and Alanna de la Rosa. I fucking love her. I had such a great interview with her. The energy that she had, the young talent in her, and well portrayed and balanced against her and Scott and Marko, everybody that she had to play off of. She's this young star that I cannot wait to see shine. In the interview, I think she told me that Ernesto and everybody told her that she's the next Ana de Armas. Fucking, I love that, because Ana de Armas now is she's our freaking ballerina in the John Wick series now, y'all. Like, what a great comparison. And I think she's gonna shine bright. And we're gonna be talking about the next Alanna de la Rosa instead of Ana de Armas. Like, such a great young talent. As you said, Heather, she killed this role amongst her peers, these adults. She just did a great job in her energy, her youthfulness. She was telling me when she wasn't acting, she still wanted to be on set so she could see the other perform. That's a make of a great young talent who, wants to still learn even when she's not out there performing. She wants to learn by watching and being a part of everything. I think that's just amazing. I enjoyed this film. This was a throwback film. Again, not perfect. It's 80s, 90s cheese, action, but I love that. Sometimes I need a little bit of that to eat up amongst all these other kind of deeper stuff that's going to make me cry. And y'all know that's what I do with a lot of films. I'm a fucking empath. I'm a dad. This had that dad shit, but also some good cheese for me to chew and just have fun. This was a fun film for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think the love there is the love bomb is there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I want to quote, I'm going to quote Dick Grayson here. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I am just whelmed. This movie, it's everything I was expecting it to be. I was not. I think it was definitely a popcorn film. It was definitely what I was expecting it to be. The acting was good. The action is great. But it is a Scott Adkins film through and through. And once again, not a bad thing. Just everything I was expecting. So with that being said, any more final thoughts, QP, or did we get everything out?
Final thoughts is I want to see everybody in this together again. And if you watch this film all the way to the end, there could be a chance. And when I spoke with Marko and Alanna, they'd love to revisit this. So could we get a Diablo 2? Go watch this movie, y'all. Make it happen so we can get one. That's all I got to say.
And I'm not saying that when I spoke to Ernesto that he did not deny that. So with that being said, maybe go watch my interview and see what he says. With that being said, if you agree with QP, if you agree with me, if you don't agree with either of us, tell us in the comment section below. As always, tell us how wrong we are. We love to hear it because it's just more for us. Or tell us how right we are. Anyway, with that being said, like, subscribe, share, all those things, and we will talk. I'm sorry. I think I said this at the beginning. Diablo is available in select theaters right now and video on demand. So with that being said, we'll talk to y'all soon.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you,
rule.
Nerds rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julie.
Yes,
Yes,
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.